योगेंद्र जी, आई कैन स्टार्ट ना, हम वही राह देख रहे थे। ठीक है, ओके, आई शुड स्टार्ट। वीडियो प्रेजेंटेशन ऑन करके दूसरा Good morning, friends, and welcome to a topic that is close to our heart. The topic is impact of Corona on global accounting profession. Again, as a humble duty, I must thank on behalf of myself and you all, our institute and the Committee on International Affairs, especially its chairman, Mr. Thatte, and the Sarve Sarva, one who does everything, is our friend, Mr. Yogendra ji. Impact of Corona on global accounting profession. We have been going through this impact. We have been experiencing it. More than 4 months are over. Corona is with us. We're all awaiting with all anxiety and eagerness when we should get the medicine on it. And once we get into it, probably we may come back to a normalcy. But that normalcy shall be a new normalcy. It will be new normal. Friends, before we proceed to the discussion on Corona's impact on our accounting profession, I think it would be advisable, it would be good, we quickly have a look at how Corona has impacted the global economy. Okay, the global, I would say, design. There what? I just read out to you. There is no discussion required. Manufacturing output has reduced by 60%. Automation is replacing physical labor, causing serious increase in unemployment. Logistics is getting localized because local economies have suddenly become very important. Hospitality, travel, tourism badly affected. Local kirana walas and community shops are very important now. Online education is a reality, although it is not available to most of the rural and semi-urban students. Agriculture and agro-based business is a priority now. We are all going back to agriculture. Banking and insurance businesses are under terrible pressure. Businesses based on work from home are intact. Therefore, companies like Tata Consulting, Infosys are still doing well. Low priority products and services got badly impacted, like furniture, etc., which are low priority, are badly impacted. Consumers are postponing purchase decisions, especially capex decisions. Small and medium-sized enterprises are under serious pressure of cash flows, sales, committed costs, working capital problems, etc. Industries like construction, infrastructure, chemicals, garment, automobile are facing negative growth, especially I would say construction and automobile. People are controlling costs, avoiding unnecessary consumption, searching for guaranteed income to fight uncertainty. You would know from middle class people especially, okay, who depend on their everyday performance and they want to know how to earn a confirmed kind of revenue to fight uncertainty. Government's revenue is shrinking fast and therefore development projects are being postponed. So friends, these are some of the serious impacts of Corona on global economy, Indian economy, and I would say local economy also. Now, I proceed further. Let us have a quick look at what are the various accounting professions. I am not just talking about costing profession, taxation profession, or corporate finance profession. We know these professions, but I am just doing a quick revision. The first is obviously our profession, that is cost and management accounting. Corporate finance, treasury, that is cash management and working capital management. Financial reporting and analysis, which is both formal and informal for compliances. All types of audits, cost audit, tax audit, financial audit, management audit, strategy audit, energy audit, concurrent audit, internal audit, and so on. IT applications to accounting control, indirect and direct taxation, project feasibility and financing of the projects, business valuation. We have done a webinar on valuation of businesses, assets, employees, intangible assets, and so on. Accounting and legal compliances of new business formations, joint ventures, acquisitions, strategic alliances, and so on. Business revival and bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is a great new area where we management accountants can do lot many wonders. Product insurance, valuation based insurance, insurance claim recovery, etc. Leasing, discounting, factoring. Factoring is nothing but debt recovery and mortgaging. Startups and venture financing. Investment planning, that is risk return management. Financial control system, that is developing financial control system, both hard and soft aspects for a business enterprise. Strategic planning, that is long-term business planning, budgeting and its execution. And of course, the last area is accounting and finance training. We are all attending webinars arranged by our institute. It is nothing but capability development, experience sharing, and exposure to what is happening globally. So friends, these are various types of accounting professions. If I might have forgotten to cover up a few more areas, please forgive me. The list could be a longer one. I just presented 18 of them. This could be 25. Why I presented this list? Just to revise our references, and therefore it will be easy for us now to discuss how Corona has impacted and will be impacting and will leave a strong impact on accounting profession globally. Now, when I say globally, I am also referring to mostly the countries where accounting profession has matured. Although we are a developing country, right, some of the accounting standards are far more better than the accounting standards which are practiced in developed nations like the USA, UK, France, Australia, Singapore, and so on. Of course, I just take a little permission from the audience here. In India, when we talk about accounting, the first name of a community that comes before our eyes are the Marwadis, the Gujaratis. I call them Marus and Gujus, who are known for accounting excellence, control, cost analysis, etc. for many historical reasons. So now, friends, I take you to my discussion how Corona has impacted our accounting profession with special reference to cost and management accounting profession. अब हम आगे चलते हैं. Impact of Corona on global accounting. Okay, online services are of a top priority. A friend of mine, who is the past president of our institute, Mr. V.V. Devgar, is also attending our webinar. I was talking to him yesterday, and I mean, he's like my elderly friend and elder brother. So Mr. Devgar was also making a reference to the assignments of online tax audit. He made a mention to me that during Corona, we have been now trying to look at how tax audit or audit, cost audit, etc. could be done online. So online services are a top priority for all corporate clients. So when I talk to my corporate clients, the first question is what can be done online? Number one, transactional accounting, simple accounting. Okay, it has got preference now, right? And it has been happening, say, for last 15 years. All accounting packages which are online. It has already been happening, but then now it has got a big focus. Financial audit, cost audit, tax audit, and tax planning. Of course, I do agree, especially cost audit and financial audit, they require some physical visits, etc. But Corona is prohibiting such physical visits. And therefore, the principle that we have been talking about is something is better than nothing. Right? So not doing an audit and inquiry, vouching, verification, what is better is what best can be done online. So financial audit, cost audit, tax audit, and tax planning also are now happening online. Of course, there are challenges, and those challenges are nothing but a reason for innovation. So we all human beings are known as innovators, and we are innovating solutions to the hiccups or the problems or the hurdles in conducting online audit. Financial analysis and reporting. This has emerged to be a big online area of consultations, advisory, etc. So financial analysis and reporting. Now financial analysis, one for your SIP, okay, that is for an individual investor. But more than that, financial analysis has taken a front seat, and that is for the corporate world. The corporate world is now looking at online service providers who maybe I would say would conduct a real-time analysis financial analysis real time, and report also real time. So there are many real time IT, I would say, solutions available, and those have become prominent now. My son-in-law, who works for IBM, he is indulging in designing a very comprehensive product that would offer real-time financial analysis and reporting online. Next is financial advisory for treasury, working capital, and investment planning. We spoke about investment planning, treasury and working capital control, monitoring, early warning signals, correction, revival, etc. is also now happening online. Although a big part of working capital that is inventory audit, inventory checkup, inventory, I would say, monitoring requires physical visits, but then without or I would say control physical visits, how we can offer financial advisories for working capital management. And this has become a real need of the hour, especially for SMEs, small and medium sized enterprises. Why? Because Corona has disturbed them a lot. Their treasury, their cash liquidity is in trouble now. Their recoveries are bad from the market. Customers are not paying on time. Bankers are hesitant to finance their working capital, and therefore many SMEs are struggling to improve their working capital position. I can share with you frankly, more than 120 SMEs approached us and they asked us whether we can support them online, analyzing working capital situation, offering them innovative ideas, even talking to their bankers, how SMEs could be provided with additional working capital to meet their liquidity priorities. Then financial contracts for insurance and banking. These are two critical areas, especially insurance, actuaries, valuation, insurance claims has been always a technical subject. And there again, general insurance is furthermore complex. Life insurance has been standardized thanks to our corporation, Life Insurance Corporation. But general insurance, business insurance, okay, loss of profit insurance, inventory insurance, employee insurance is so complex. But there again, financial contracts are taking place online. Let me share with you, just last week, a company approached us. The company said that as part of VRS, voluntary retirement scheme, the company thought that they should offer an insurance product to those retiring employees through VRS so that the insurance coverage would be available to them for next 20 to 25 years. And let me tell you, all this was done online. I could talk to some of the representatives of the employee union, spoke to them about insurance requirements, what insurance they would prefer, individual or family, medical insurance or general life insurance, and then based on that feedback, management's viewpoint and the available products, we designed an innovative new product that would offer them insurance for next 25 years. So financial contracts for insurance and banking, okay, are also a priority area of online services for, I would say, MSMEs to mid-sized companies to big companies, individual insurance takers, and also I would say Hindu undivided families, trust, public trust, charitable trust, etc., etc. Insurance is a priority area, and therefore online insurance discussion, product designing, delivery, analysis is happening online. अब हम और आगे चलते हैं. Online webinars are also essential, and those have become so much essential now. Number one is financial training of various types. But friends, let me tell you, big companies, reputed companies, all reputed companies, a few names which come to my mind, say the Tata Group, Mahindra and Mahindra Group, Siemens for that matter, Larsen and Toubro Group, RPG Group. These all groups have already gone online for online webinars when it comes to basic financial training. The basics of financial competency is already online. But let me share with you now, even a discussion on strategic financial management, financial training for CEOs, CIOs, COOs, and so on is also now happening online. Now, financial training of various types. There are a couple of other types also. I would call them as consultative training. So when I discuss and design a project report for my client, the project report may involve quite a few financial numbers, financial analysis, and so on. Now that financial analysis requires some kind of training to be imparted with the members of the client organization. that is also now happening online. Financial training also includes, as I just mentioned, okay, is the training about, say, insurance products, is the training about lending products, is the training about working capital finance products. That also is happening now online. Now, under financial training, there is another very specialized area and which is close to our heart. We all management accountants is strategic cost management. I have imparted training on activity-based costing, objective-based costing through a webinar here and for a couple of my other clients. Financial training under strategic cost management also includes what? Measure management decisions which impact your cost strategically. What are those major management decisions? And what kind of, I would say, changes are required in the business model, value chain. So business model, value chain, how they can be connected to strategic cost management. All that training is now possible online. But friends, let me make one more statement here. We cost and management accountants should take utmost help of IT professionals for designing our website, for designing our PowerPoint presentation. Even I would say using graphs, using good drawings, etc., so that our financial training becomes impactful and meaningful and very attractive. Number 2, webinar on strategic and financial perspectives. This also is an interesting webinar that is happening now. One example I share with you, in a big company, there is always a team called corporate planning or strategic planning, which designs strategies and then shares with divisions, business divisions, departments, functions, and so on. So functional heads also contribute to strategy, designs and strategy, I would say strategic planning as such. Now here, the company may come back to us, to the management accountants, to the management accounting consultants, strategic consultants, for what? Offering some ideas from outside, offering some kind of support. In what sense, in what capacity? If there is a strategy that has been designed by your strategic team internally, is that strategy okay? So the internal team also wants some kind of confidence, some kind of psychological support, some kind of professional support, and therefore a team may come to me, I being a consultant, to check what is the strategy going to be correct? What are going to be the hurdles in strategy execution? What is going to be the cost benefit analysis, and so on. So friends, there are many strategic perspectives. What about financial perspectives? You can imagine now a company is investing in a big capex for a new product development, new plant, and therefore the CFO may approach you, and the CFO may say, are there some other financial perspectives which you can share? The example again here is online example. We normally assess a project with a concept called IRR, internal rate of return, or you can simply call it actual ROI. Some people call it intrinsic rate of return. Now this internal rate of return, okay, one is a financial perspective, very simple, which we all know. Is there a social IRR? Is there a, I would say, intangible IRR, intrinsic IRR? Is there a notional IRR? Is there a group IRR, product IRR, process IRR, and so on? There can be various financial perspectives about IRR alone, and that kind of a brainstorm discussion can happen online. Okay, financial perspectives also include what? A discussion between functional departments and the finance department. Many companies are conducting such discussions internally online. What does it mean? The CFO talks to other functional heads, sharing what? Financial perspectives. Okay, how functional variations, functional improvisations would contribute to the financial performance of the company, and such financial perspectives are also shared, okay, internally online. Rather, I would say during last 3.5 to 4 months of Corona, these internal financial perspectives have become very, very vital. With an example, the engineers talk a language of X by Y. We accountants talk a language of 5 by 3. Now X by Y and 5 by 3 may mean same. Both may be same, both may be equal. Okay, but then the engineers do not understand our language and we don't understand their language. So under financial perspectives, engineering perspectives, strategic perspectives, a lot internal discussion is happening online. And suddenly companies have realized the importance of online brainstorms. Now, We can use technology. We have, all those video webinars available. So I'm sitting in Mumbai office of my client or my own office, and then all the executives of a company from various parts of the country are connected to me, and we are conducting a financial perspective discussion. Friends, I can tell you, it's a very thrilling experience that engineers, HR executives, marketing gurus, marketing executives, they talk about financial perspectives. Okay, like, a marketing executive would ask me, what are the various components of financial aspects of brand management? If the brand is mature, then what is the financial aspect? The brand is new, what is the financial aspect, and so on. All these discussions are happening as brainstorms, okay, online. And that is a real great value addition we management accountants can do to the corporate world. Number 3 is management audit. Management audit webinars have also become very popular. What is management audit? Verification, vouching, assessment, evaluation of key management decisions. Now, some people may also call it as strategy audit, because a managerial decision, a key managerial decision is nothing but a strategy. Okay, so the audit discussion on about the management decisions is also happening online. Now here, the exciting part is what? The exciting part is independent directors who are on the board of a company. These independent directors, they participate in the discussion on management audit. We all know, as per corporate compliances, there is an audit committee which comprises of especially independent directors on the board, and this audit committee should be the host of a discussion on management audit. I'm talking about a corporate client. If it is an SME, then naturally it is the proprietor, his family, his key members, they participate, okay, in the discussion on auditing managerial decisions. But friends, let me also add one more dimension to the online brainstorm here. A managerial decision may be great, but execution is bad. Or the decision was so-so, but execution was great. There are various permutations and combinations. Those come out when you conduct a management audit. So online webinars on management audit have become very popular. Then financial aspects of wage settlement, salary settlement. Quite a few companies, they were to conduct their 3-yearly, 4-yearly, maybe 5-yearly wage settlements and discussions with the union members. Let me share with you, almost 90% union leaders are now techno savvy. Why? They are young. Okay, they are very inquisitive. They are very eager to learn new things. In most of my client companies, I find a union young leader has got his own laptop. He knows a couple of packages, the software packages, how to work on them, especially wage related, wage analysis. And let me also make a statement here. Some of the union leaders, they know a bit about actuarial science. Actuarial science. Okay, in a sense, if a worker is retiring and he is eligible for some kind of pension, but he wants to encash 40% of his pension, there is an actuarial science that is applicable here. So financial aspects of wage settlement are also being discussed online. Now, when we say wage settlement, there are various stages of wage settlement. If you talk to some of your IR managers, industrial relations managers, or let us call them employee relations managers, they would explain to you what are those key segments of wage settlement and where we management accountants get involved. One big involvement here is the settlement design itself, revision of a wage, various dimensions of wage revision, and so on. So financial aspects of wage settlement is a very hot topic, hit topic, which is getting discussed online. And let me tell you, our employees are happy with online discussion. In some of our client companies, what we have done, we restored a big screen in a big hall where all employees are invited. Okay, and then the management and union discussion is presented to them. So financial aspects of wage settlement are discussed with 100% transparency, where all employees are present. They may be present even through small business activity groups, sitting in their own department or sitting at home, and the discussion is possible and the discussion is happening. Rather, I would say my experience is when I spoke to a friend of mine yesterday from the IR fraternity, he said 90% wage settlement contracts have been signed during Corona online. Even they are signed online with online signature mechanism provided by Government of India. Further is vendor finance, dealer finance, and lease finance. Vendor finance is financial aspects of vendor business. Vendors, ancillaries, suppliers, vendor SMEs, and so on. Dealer finance are dealers, distributors, stockists, okay, all those who are members of distribution chain. Vendors are members of supply chain, dealers distribution chain, okay. And then the third area is lease finance. We all know there are so many interesting types of leases: operating lease, financial lease, long-term, short-term, dry lease, wet lease, and their various permutations and combinations. So friends, there are online discussions happening, okay, among what? Among 3 to 4 members. Say 4 members. The company, let me take an example, X company. The second member is vendors, third is bankers, and fourth, me as a consultant. So what vendor finances are required? How a company can support vendors through company's own capital? Should a company invest in the working capital of vendors during difficult times of Corona? Is also being discussed under vendor finance. Dealer finance is further more challenging. Why? Because under vendor finance, my company is liable to pay to vendor for the supplies made by the vendor. Therefore, vendor's recovery is under control, because vendor's recovery payment to be made by my company to the vendor. That is simple. What is difficult is dealer finance, because a dealer selling on credit in the market, okay, and during Corona, I can tell you many of the automobile dealers, FMCG dealers, chemical dealers, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गुड्स डीलर्स, इनका पैसा फंस चुका है, अटका हुआ है मार्केट में. एंड डीलर्स आर नाउ टॉकिंग टू बैंकर्स अबाउट व्हाट? फैक्टरिंग, रिकवरी, बिल डिस्काउंटिंग एंड सो ऑन. Now these discussions are also happening online, where an automobile principal company, we call in OEM, that is original equipment manufacturer like Tata Motors or Mahindra or Bajaj Auto, okay, or Leyland or so on, a consultant, a banker, and the representatives of the dealers body. So these 4 members, these 4 what you call the 4 beneficiaries, okay, are involved together in a discussion on dealer finance. So how, to what extent bankers, channel financiers can help dealers, and to what extent the OEM or the principal company would offer guarantee or some kind of assurances. All these discussions are happening online. Agreements are being done online. So we consultants, okay, we can contribute a lot. Even the internal finance executives, internal management accountants working for a company, okay, are also participating. Now dealer finance also has got one more dimension here, and that big dimension is inventory of a dealer. 99% dealers, they are stuck with their working capital blocked up with huge inventory. Now where do we park that inventory? How do we dismantle it? How do we dispose it off? Even that becomes a banker's worry also. A banker having given a working capital limit to a dealer, and the dealer has 90% used it for inventory financing. All these discussions are happening online. Also lease finance. Okay, most of the leases which were designed yesterday with a one-to-one physical discussion, now leases are being designed online. Especially I would say lease finance kind of agreement. Okay, the wait lease, or I would say the financial lease, is nothing but one way of financing equipments, financing machines, financing all those tangible assets through workable leases. Of course, Indian accounting standards, American accounting standards, global accounting standards, there is no one single resolution where we can talk about this is what is the clear-cut accounting standard for a lease agreement. So we management accountants can look at this one area where we have a tremendous scope. Talking about what? Accounting pattern of a lease. For example, who should claim the depreciation of a leased asset? Okay, how a lease rental should be designed, how a lease rental should be written off or amortized, okay, etc. etc. There can be an element of capex also in lease finance. How do we look at that capex? Okay, so 90% lease finance is done by the lessor, but the lessee may invest 10% of the capex. So there can be a complex accounting here, and we management accountant have got a lot of online scope here. And then banking settlements. Friends, banking settlements are also becoming now online with a little hesitation, especially from SMEs. I should not make any generalized statement here. You people are very smart to read between the lines. how banking settlements take place not only in India but in developed nations also. Okay, जहाँ क्या कहते हैं थोड़ा मेरा थोड़ा तेरा होता ही है. When you sit across a table with a banker, banking settlements are at various stages. Banking settlements for a project that is nearing completion. Banking settlement for a sick company. Banking settlement for working capital finance or working capital renewal of the working capital kind of a limit. Banking settlement for a very sick unit which is okay in the ICU kind of a situation. Banking settlements for a growth oriented company. Okay, first generation growth oriented company, or banking settlements for a startup also. All these banking settlements are also happening online. Again friends, online designing of a banking settlement, banking strategic restructuring of a bank, of a loan taken from a bank. So for a bank it is an asset, for me it is a liability. So for a bank also there is an asset liability mismatch. All these are happening online. And let me share with you again, nationalized banks, foreign banks, private banks, they have huge amount of technology with them. Cooperative banks, very good cooperative banks, are also conducting online discussions on banking settlements with fantastic IT products available to them. I don't name couple of such cooperative banks because that won't be correct in our webinar here. अब हम और आगे चलते हैं. This is an interesting discussion for we management accountants, and what it is, new practices are evolving, online practices. Okay, and those online practices are evolving. I have put only 4 examples here. There can be many such examples, and Corona has really done a positive thing to us, that these practices which are now online are becoming more and more popular among our clients, among especially SMEs. Where I am sitting in Mumbai and my client SME is from a small town called Solapur from South Maharashtra, or my another SME is from Coimbatore or from Durgapur, and all these new practices are evolving online. Number 1, cheaper execution of IT applications. I know quite a few management accountants as employees in companies and also as consultants. For them, execution of IT applications, especially your corporate resource planning, CRP related applications, which are well settled, standardized, benchmarks are available, but these are now becoming okay cheaper and cheaper with, I would say, online applications, online execution, online verification, online assessment, online corrections, online revisions, everything online. Now here companies like Microsoft, for that matter IBM, okay, a different company which is not into IT, okay, like Amazon. Now these companies are also getting into cheaper execution of IT applications wherever possible. All multinational companies, 90% of their employees, they work from home, and for them IT applications are so vital. But every company is looking at what can be the cheapest possible execution of IT application, and that too a company is looking out for what? An IT application which is very comprehensive, would take care of my entire value chain, right from say purchase, vendor rating, procurement, manufacturing, storage, okay, pricing, costing, pricing, delivery, after sales service, and so on and so on. Now you can imagine the entire value chain that can be brought under IT application, and that too online, real-time kind of analysis, real-time reporting, etc. etc. This new practice has become so vibrant, has become so viral, has become so important that SMEs are also now, I would say, adopting and adapting cheaper execution of IT applications. The next new practice, okay, which again Corona gifted to us, is business feasibility. Friends, we all know there are 3 types of feasibilities here: technical feasibility, economic or financial or commercial feasibility, and marketing feasibility. Okay, now technical feasibility and financial feasibility to a large extent online possible. What is difficult, challenging is marketing feasibility. Okay, so yesterday a consultant and his team or a market research consulting firm would go to market, talk to customers, decide a sample size, okay, and then come back with some kind of a report about what? Marketing feasibility. Now, marketing feasibility, which is part of business feasibility, is also getting done online. Again, thanks to what are, I would say, mobile kind of packages, mobile kind of WhatsApp kind of packages, WhatsApp kind of online solutions. So companies are using WhatsApp solutions. Companies are using different types of solutions, okay, which can be run on a small simple mobile, and that has also become part of conducting market feasibility. And market feasibility is very much component of business feasibility. On the other side, technological or technical feasibility, which again is a component of business feasibility. Here again, sometime some of our strategic partners, they would love to visit your machines and plants and factories, okay, which also is happening offline, but very selectively, conducting, observing all corona related discipline. But let me tell you, 80% of business feasibility, due diligence kind of activities which I'm coming to, is now happening online. Due diligence, the third area, which is a new practice online, okay, 50 to 60% due diligence is also happening now online. What is that? Secondary data analysis, evidence analysis, statement analysis, bank statement analysis, okay, vendor statement analysis, dealer statement analysis. So wherever possible, online due diligence is happening. Physical visits, due diligence requires a very critical part, and the critical part is physical visit to a factory. Why? Because you need to visit the layout, the very design. You get a feel of a company you are acquiring. You get a feel of a company with whom you are doing a kind of a joint collaboration or strategic alliance. So that is also happening offline, but most of the analysis, analytical part of due diligence is happening online. Bankruptcy, again, there could be 10 different stages of bankruptcy, different types of bankruptcies and so on. In some companies, I find the bankruptcy is not just financial, it is operational also. The product is outdated, processes are outdated. So bankruptcy need not be a result of financial blunders. They are also a result of no revival taking place. So technical aspects of bankruptcy are difficult to check online, where a physical visit is required. But financial aspects of bankruptcy, I would say managerial aspects of bankruptcy can be checked, can be assessed online. And that also is a new practice which is evolving. Okay. Now connected to bankruptcy is revival. Friends, there are three cases of revival here: product revival, people revival, and process revival. Now product revival and people revival is happening online. What is challenging offline kind of a discussion is process revival, which is more technology related. But then at least product revival and people revival discussions, brainstorms are also happening online. A case study is designed with the help of a laptop, with the help of a software program, and their case study is then further analyzed to decide what degree, what quantum of revival is required. Is the revival very basic, 10 to 20% revival? Is it very substantial, 50 to 60%? Or is it almost 95% revival, which we can call it as reincarnation? So these discussions are also happening online. And number 4 area, friends, if you remember, we have discussed through one such webinar earlier, and it is business valuation. Business valuation also requires a physical offline visit to physical assets, building, premises, plant, machineries, etc., layout. Okay, all those are to be physically visited. But then, if at all we keep that aside, the remaining all portions of business valuation can be done online. For example, valuation of intangible assets, brands, patents, copyright. Okay, valuation of employees, valuation of goodwill based on super profits, valuation of the quality of board of directors. If at all I want to also consider the vendor base of a company, the dealer base of a company into valuation, that also is possible online. So barring the physical visits to some of the physical assets, tangible assets, business valuation, I would say 80 to 90% is also happening online. Various methods of business valuation, like the capitalization method, ROI method, okay, we conduct online. The super profit method, goodwill method, okay, future cash flow method, that is discounted cash flow method, is also happening online. Okay, now therefore business valuation, intermittent valuation, valuation for a purpose, When I do a valuation, when I'm an acquirer, I would apply my IRR for the assets I'm buying. Whereas somebody selling his business may not apply IRR. Maybe applying what because he wants to garner maximum possible valuation and maximum possible kind of a payment from the acquirer. Would do what? He would go for ROI based valuation. He would go for future cash flow based valuation. Okay, so business valuation is also happening online. Now friends, I proceed further. This is my most important discussion of my presentation. Professions which are emerging as prominent. Okay, and these were emerging earlier also, but last 4 months of Corona has given clear-cut indications to us that these are the online emerging professions for we cost and management accountants. Now those cost and management accountants who limit their practice to cost audit, cost verification and costing system, my request to them, please look at my presentation and expand your horizon. So what is the first area here? Cost control and cost reduction strategies, systems and benchmarking. Cost control and cost reduction are two sides of same coin. Therefore, what are the strategies for cost control and cost reduction? Systems for control and reduction, and then benchmarking for control and reduction. 90% of Indian companies, they conduct cost benchmarking, I would say informally, unofficially. They do not have a formal structure. We management accountants can offer them a formal structure of cost benchmarking. One automobile OEM I cannot name recently approached us and it said that their head of costing, head of internal costing, cost control wanted a kind of a package, wanted a kind of a system, and that is for cost benchmarking. Now when I say cost benchmarking, again it has got various dimensions. Cost benchmarking from the market, what the competition is doing and what my customer is looking at as target costing. Cost benchmarking based on my internal ROI IRR. I do my backward calculations and come to some cost benchmarks. Cost benchmarking based on my internal strengths and weaknesses. And number 4, cost benchmarking based on my trend analysis. In last 5-6 years, what has been my cost performance? That also becomes a dimension for cost benchmarking. So my management accountant friends, I request you, look at these 4 dimensions. Design a kind of an online kind of a product where you are considering the trend of cost figures, the market trend of cost figures, okay, the ROI based cost figures, and then the cost figures which could be achieved through our internal strengths and weaknesses. You can imagine what kind of robust software package program it can be, and then connect it to the strategic control on cost and strategic efforts of cost reduction. If there are 10 strategies of cost reduction, like process excellence, vendor excellence, raw material negotiations, quality excellence, okay, employee productivity excellence, all these lead to cost reduction. The point here is, can we convert these 4, 5, 10 cost reduction strategies again into a program? And that program will calculate for me if a strategy of employee productivity excellence would reduce my cost and the employee productivity has improved by 11%. To what extent my cost has gone down? My software program should calculate it automatically with other variables connected to it. So employee productivity has gone up, my machine quality is better, okay, my outlay is better, raw material quality has improved. Now there are 4 or 5 factors which contribute to my cost reduction. Can we develop some kind of a software program with the help of engineers? So we accountant and engineers, we come together, and can we really differentiate to what extent employee productivity has contributed to cost reduction? Okay, separated from machine quality improvisation in process excellence, improvement in material quality. This is a very, very difficult task. But friends, we management accountants are known for difficult tasks. Therefore, look at this area, and if you can develop an online kind of an approach for the CEO, CFO, CIO, CHRO, COO of a company, that would be a great contribution on our part. The second area, which also is an emerging area for we management accountants, is performance audit. Now friends, there are 3 types of performances here. Okay, the first performance is strategic performance, that is performance of the top management. Okay, so what is the strategic performance of the top management? The second performance is financial performance. Okay, so what is the financial performance of the company as such? And number three is operational performance management or operational performance. Sorry friends, just had a sip of water. So when we say performance audit, it is the strategic performance, financial performance, operational or technical performance. If you can design an ongoing kind of a product for performance audit, now here there can be a very simple solution as an emerging area online. I'm sharing with you, and couple of you may even contact me later. We can design a very comprehensive questionnaire. A questionnaire to conduct what? To conduct an audit of strategic performance, conduct audit of operational performance, that is technical performance, and financial performance. And these questionnaires will be at 4 different levels of employees, that is top executives, middle management, junior management, officers and all, supervisors and workers. Okay, so a questionnaire approach is also possible. The second one is interview approach, online interviews with the senior executives, top executives. So through the interview approach, performance audit to some extent is possible. Number three is the case study approach. We expect every functional head, okay, to write a case on his performance. What decisions he took, how those were implemented or not implemented, what were the reasons for good implementation, bad implementation. So a functional head would write a case study or a case report, a business case, and that shall be analyzed by we management auditors, we management accountants. So friends, important in performance audit is a design that would help us to conduct performance audit online. Okay, and as I told you last time also, I gave you my WhatsApp number, which before I forget, I repeat now, 98200-62116. 98200-62116 is my WhatsApp number. If you have any queries about performance audit, converting that into a package, okay, if you have queries, you can write to me, you can even talk to me, because let me tell you friends, out of these 5-6 areas which I am presenting to you now for we management accountants, performance audit is a big area. And let me make another frank statement, we can do a better job than the chartered accountants. Even I would say than the CIMA members, CIMA London members. We can do even a better job than CFAs or CPAs from US, Canada, Mexico and so on. Why? Because friends, we management accountants are a very fantastic blend of micro MICRO cost analysis and cost audit and macro MACRO management audit. This is our specialty. This is our strength. And therefore, out of these 5-6 areas I am presenting to you, please look at performance audit, designing a kind of an online structure, online software program to conduct performance audit, where your client would be immensely happy. Your client may even invite you to conduct what? Functional performance audit, like vendor performance, or maybe procurement performance audit, manufacturing performance audit, R&D performance audit, finance department performance audit. Okay, of course, you need to take some kind of a help from engineers, and these engineers are available to you from the client organization. So this is second very big emerging prominent online profession for we management accountants. Let me proceed further. Number 3 area is risk return planning and tax planning under uncertainty. Corona, if at all, has taught us 10 lessons. The biggest lesson is managing business under uncertainty. Corona was not expected that some corona would come from Wuhan, China, okay, and would create a problem globally for all the economies worldwide. We're all waiting for a vaccine. वैक्सीन कब आएगा? अगस्त में आएगा, सितंबर में आएगा, नवंबर में आएगा, कब आएगा पता नहीं. But the uncertainty continues. But Corona also taught us a lesson that it is not just Corona uncertainty. After 2 years, there can be some other uncertainty. Okay, some country like China, North Korea, for that matter, Israel or Saudi Arabia, Iran or Iraq may get into some kind of war, and that war may escalate further. Our neighboring country also may trouble us. and would create an uncertainty for we people in the business community. Therefore, friends, there are three things here. We management accountants have a new area of consultations, new area of activity, and what it is, risk return planning. Number one, for individual, say executives, SMEs, etc. Risk return planning. Every SME head, every executive, every employee, every small businessman is wanting what now? If at all my business doesn't do well, do I have some kind of guaranteed confirmed return flow available to me to feed my family? In an era called Corona era, I look at many Marwadi, Gujarati SMEs. They are into deep trouble. उनका पैसा फंस चुका है, बिक्री नहीं हो रही है, प्रोडक्शन नहीं है, हाँ, and then they have 20 employees under them, 10 employees under them. How to pay their salaries, feed their families? Okay, cash flows are tight. So if you can design some kind of risk return planning for SMEs especially, that could be a very, very popular kind of a program. Okay, the second risk return planning is for the corporate world. Corporate world till yesterday was doing its own risk return planning. Many big companies like Tata Group companies, L&T, Mahindra, Reliance, etc. They have their own internal risk measurement, risk planning mechanism. But they are also revisiting now. If there is a global calamity like Corona today, some kind of world war tomorrow, some kind of natural calamity tomorrow, are we ready for this kind of a risk return analysis, multiple choice analysis? So management accountants, please look at this area where you can again take help of those who are very good at actuaries, those who are very good at future cash flow planning, engineering analysis, etc., etc. Tax planning under uncertainty. Now, most of the cost and management accountants are practicing in indirect taxation. GST as a big area, which was yesterday, a couple of other indirect taxes. Some management accountants are also practicing direct tax planning. But I have another suggestion here. Tax planning under uncertainty. So take a view of next 5 years for your business client or for your own company where you are performing. Imagine some possible uncertainties. What are going to be the different business scenarios? Very optimistic, moderate, optimistically moderate, moderately moderate, and maybe I would say conservative or pessimistic. So there are various possibilities of business scenario. Okay, uncertain scenarios. And what are your choices available? Tax planning choices, direct tax planning, indirect tax planning. And that too again, connecting tax planning to your vendors and dealers, to your supply chain and distribution chain. They are also part of your tax planning. Your customer is part of your tax planning. Employees are part of your tax planning. Shareholder bankers are part of your tax planning. Now you can imagine what kind of tax planning under uncertainty could be visualized and a software program could be designed. Next is SME financing. SME financing is also, I would say, a popular area. Quite a few management accountants I know, chartered accountants, MBA finance I know, in the name of debt syndication, loan syndication, they work for SMEs. Now there are startups. Our respected Prime Minister spoke about startups making in India. That is one big area where we management accountant can do what? We management accountant, the other day I was talking to many startup members of the SME stock market under National Stock Exchange. I spoke to them, and what emerged out is a big scope for we management accountant. And what is that? For a startup, the financing at the launch stage, financing at consolidation stage, and financing at expansion stage for a startup, that is scaling up. Now you can imagine management accountants. Okay, what kind of financing structure is required? A new idea has emerged, patent has been taken, and the startup has just begun. What are the financial needs? So what financial advice or advisory services we can provide? Then at the takeoff position, consolidation position, expansion position, market leadership position for a startup. Look at it seriously. It can be under SME financing itself. So SME financing is not just working capital or capex financing. The SME financing and its strategic planning is also one big area as an emerging profession for us. And then the next is leasing, discounting, factoring, and mortgaging. If you ask me, in each area, leasing, discounting, factoring, and mortgaging, what is involved is What is involved is in these all four areas is cost benefit analysis. You can imagine leasing cost benefit analysis, lease rental, claims, tax planning, etc. Discounting. What is the discounting rate? The commission I need to pay to what you call a banker. Factoring. Again, the commission I need to pay to a factor, and that would help me improve my liquidity, my working capital position. But let me tell you, worldwide, the most complex area, challenging area for we accountants is mortgaging. Mortgaging, direct mortgaging, reverse mortgaging, composite mortgaging, compound mortgaging, future mortgaging, spot mortgaging. There are so many categories, varieties of mortgaging. But under every mortgaging, there is a CBA involved, cost benefit analysis involved. So friends, look at leasing, discounting, factoring and mortgaging. For leasing alone, factoring and leasing, especially leasing, I would suggest you look at a book authored by me, Strategic Financial Management, and there's a big chapter on leasing. Just read that chapter on leasing and you would feel, oh, it's a big area for we management accountants to handle. And let me again make a very confident and very realistic statement that compared to chartered accountants, compared to CIMA members, compared to MBA Finance, again we management accountants can do a better job in these four areas for a simple reason. We are master of CBA, cost benefit analysis. So friends, look at leasing, discounting, factoring, mortgaging seriously. Go deeper into factoring, go deeper into mortgaging. There are hundreds of books available on mortgaging alone. Okay, there are new accounting concepts involved in mortgaging, tax concepts involved in mortgaging. Okay, how Americans look at mortgaging, how British look at mortgaging, especially American, British and German. They have specialized accounting packages for mortgaging alone. Please look at them. And the last area is long-term tax planning. I refer to it under tax planning under uncertainty. But long-term tax planning, okay, also refers to what? Long-term tax planning for individuals. Long-term tax planning based on today's products and tomorrow's products. Therefore, if my business model is going to alter my tax planning, I need to look at it. Example could be Hindustan Lever. Now, Hindustan Unilever, if at all I call it, okay, always looks at long-term tax planning. Okay, backward areas, tax holidays, new product launches, okay, taking tribal employees into business and enjoying some kind of tax subsidies from the government and so on. So long-term tax planning is not to be limited to tax planning of 2-3 years. It is for 10-15 years. Therefore, we management accountants will have to look at what? Very seriously, strategic management accounting. Clubbing management accounting with strategy. So what are the strategic aspects of management accounting is also very, very important. And there comes, your view of long-term tax planning in the life cycle of a product, life cycle of employees and life cycle of a business organization. Now, in long-term tax planning, there is also an element of what? Strategic financial management. Under that, there is an element of strategic cost management. So if at all I want to alter the value chain, business model, okay, which are those functions, activities, products I'm going to outsource? Which are those components I'm going to insource? So we management accountants, if we can work closely with the business managers in the organization, we can contribute a lot to long-term tax planning. Take the area of GST. GST can be a matter of long-term tax planning. Okay, like in automobile industry, the end of GST, that is 28%, is a huge tax. Automobile companies have been talking about it, representing to the central government. Okay, there are things happening over there, and this is impacting the entire automobile industry as such. But then if we offer a long-term tax planning for GST applicable to automobile industry, that would be a great service we shall be providing to our clients, to our customers. So friends, these are some of the emerging professions, okay, available to be management, cost and management accountants. But my request to you, look at these areas closely, study them, develop your competencies. I repeat couple of my suggestions. Number one, look at my book Strategic Financial Management, a chapter on leasing. Also look at my book Strategic Planning, Execution and Measurement, published by CRC Press USA. You may look at some of those competencies which are presented through the book and those would be useful to you. Also read different types of, I would say, accounting packages which are available with many companies and banks through your friends in the network. Okay, what is IBM doing for that matter? What is Amazon doing? What is Hindustan Unilever doing? Or what is Tata Motor doing? Develop your network, and through that network, please look at the emerging professions which are available to be management accountants as such. So friends, I think we have done enough discussion on what the impact of Corona on global accounting profession. So if some of my friends might have joined me from Dubai, Muscat, or from Canada, Australia, or from Singapore, Jakarta, okay, they would echo my sentiments. They would say that, yeah, India is one country where a lot of learning is possible, because Indian accounting approach has been both complex and innovative. We Indian accountants are known for innovative accounting packages, innovative accounting designs, innovative, I would say, accounting solutions. So friends, please take the professions as emerging professions, prominently emerging professions, very seriously, and that would expand our horizons, our earning, our role in the corporate world. So once again, on behalf of all of you, on my behalf also, I thank our Committee for International Affairs and our institute to give me, which gave me an opportunity to present my thought process on a very important topic called impact of Corona on global accounting. For the benefit of the members of audience here, I repeat my WhatsApp number 98200621116. 98200621116. Thanks a lot, friend. Thank you very much. Ujjwal? Sampler?